to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing something a little different to what I usually do. This is the SHFiguarts ROANOA ZORO from Romance Dawn, so the beginning of One Piece. This is the back, and this is a bit more advanced than the usual figures I review. So I just got it in a couple days ago. I got it from hobbyfigures.co.uk. I'll put them on the screen right now. Really fast shipping, and yeah, they do great figures, so you should check them out if you live in England. It's the back. They've got the straw hat cut out like they usually do with all the One Piece figures on the top. On the bottom, just the figure. On the side, and then the other side showcasing the face plates and head sculpts and the DLC Luffy, which I don't have the Luffy yet. I don't have the Onigashima Luffy or the Romance Dawn Luffy, but I'm hoping to get either one of them in at some point. So yeah, let's get him out of the box and see what he comes with. Right, so this is the figure outside of the box, and he comes with loads of accessories. Like, I got this one for £50 online, and that's around retail price, so that's like $65. And he comes with loads of accessories, so I'll just run through all of them he comes with now. Firstly, he comes with 5 face plates for him, and then 1 DLC for Luffy. He comes with a stern expression face, which comes on the figure. He comes with a laughing open mouth face. He comes with a angry shouting face. And then he comes with an alternate head sculpt for the bandana. And then an alternate faceplate for the bandana head sculpt. Switching the head sculpts for the bandanas, quite easy. All you got to do is take off the bandana and replace it just as so, like that. And then for the other head, we take the figure, take whatever faceplate you want, and it's just as easy as putting it in the holes there. And it sort of just goes in itself, and it's, yeah, really good. The only issue I have is that I wish, this is like, you know, a bit of a nitpick, but I wish you could have had the faceplates for the bandana head sculpt on the regular head sculpt and the bandana head sculpt, like they did with the Luffy, with the hat and the no hat head sculpt. But I get why they did that. It's quite hard, and, you know, he wouldn't have these faces otherwise. Second of all, he comes with 1 set of sheathed swords. And when you're using them in his hands, when you're using the unsheathed swords that he comes with, you pop out the hilts, and they come really easily. And yeah, and then if he's only using 2 swords, you can leave one of them in, and etc. like that. And then the unsheathed swords just come 2 regular swords and his Wado Ichimonji sword. And the Wado Ichimonji comes with a small slit in the hilt. So if you use this head sculpt for the bandana, what you do is you put it in, and there's a little notch on his teeth that holds onto the sword, and it doesn't fall out. It's really stable. There's a little notch there that the sword goes in, but doesn't have that notch for the other ones. You can put them in his mouth, the other ones, but it's not as stable. It just falls out. So that's the swords. Lastly, he comes with 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. He comes with 2 sword holding hands. Comes with 2 sword holding hands, but they're the ones where he holds the actual sheathed swords, like that, on his waist. So the swords themselves won't actually fit in, so you can't hold them like this. You'll need to use these hands to do that. And then a pair of relaxed open hands, slightly curved in, not too relaxed, but yeah. And then 2 fisted hands on the actual figure itself. So 8 hands overall. That's a pretty solid selection for a $65 figure. That's a pretty good selection. I don't think they really could have added anything else accessories-wise. Maybe I think maybe a bottle of sake, as he's drinking that a lot, or maybe a sleeping head sculpt. But other than that, I think this guy comes with great accessories. And we'll go on to the articulation next. As for the articulation on the figure itself, the head can go 360 all round. And the neck is really good, and it helps with the range of the head. So the head goes down that much with the neck, and then down that much without the neck, and then up this much. His butterfly joints, I think, are the highlight of this entire figure. His arms can really do mostly whatever you want. It goes up all the way like that. Goes forward a crazy amount. Over like this. So you can really get into those classic poses that he does, the three sword style. And then they go back a crazy amount as well. If you really push them far enough, you can get them to this. But yeah, great arm articulation. They've got a new butterfly joint that is on this figure. There's also on the shanks that came out. But yeah, really great. Then for the arms, we have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then full 360 wrist, and then little hinge for up and down with the wrist. Then the ab crunch is where this figure doesn't shine the most. It can go back a really good amount. It can go back a great amount there. But the front, it leaves more to be desired. I think this is the biggest issue with this figure. One of the biggest ones is that the ab crunch going forward could be better. But this is assisted by the soft torso piece instead of hard plastic, and then the soft thing around his waist. So that does help it. I've seen other figures with way worse, but it definitely could be improved. And then we'll go on to the lower body, the legs. I think the most disappointing thing about this figure is the single jointed knees only going that far, which is really disappointing. I think only the ab crunch and the single jointed knees are the only bad thing about this figure. I think everything else is great. But yeah, the single jointed knees definitely leave more to be desired there. Full split with minor rotation on the back. So you see this back piece really limits the split without it being rotated, but that is fine. And then the forward split, really easy. Side split goes full, thanks to this new leg design seen on most of the figures. Almost full, not quite full. I think it's limited by the low leg piece. If they made it a bit higher, they could have had it full, but that's not that big of an issue. And then full 360 ankle, side to side as well, and then the SHFiguarts toe joint there. So that's the figure for articulation. I think, as I said, ab crunch, single jointed knee, that's the only issue. And then a little tip when posing, this arm with the bandana comes off quite easily. It stays on really well, but sometimes I've found myself when I'm posing the arm, the bicep swivel kind of moves it around and then it falls off. And then another tip for the bandana is when you have the bandana head sculpt on, make sure to remove the bandana on his arm for manga accuracy. And then speaking of the head sculpt, all it does is come off like that. And then pop this one on. Really easy. And then really simple to change the head sculpt like that. And yeah. So this is him with the bandana head. I think the back head articulation is a bit limited by the bandana, but otherwise it's mostly the same. And then, as I said before, if we grab the Wadoichi Monji, goes in his mouth really easily. And it goes in both directions. I've not seen many people point out on that, but it can go in on the left side and the right side. So yeah, that's my review on this figure. I think it's a really great figure, and it's a great pickup. If you're new to SHFiguarts, then I think this is a really good first pick up if you like One Piece, or if you just want to get into it. This is a great first figure to do. Some warnings. When I'm taking off the bandana head sculpt sometimes the neck peg goes in with the head, and it's not that big of an issue. You can just take off the bandana and the head sculpt and just remove it with some pliers or your teeth, but it is really annoying. So that's just an issue. And then another issue is you have to be really careful when you're putting on the hand, because the pegs on the wrist are quite fragile, but I think that's the same for most figures. So I think, yeah, that's the only big issues are ab crunch, single jointed knees, and then the peg comes out with the head sometimes. So other than that, it's a great figure to pick up. As I said before, I got it from hobbyfigures.com, and they do worldwide shipping. So wherever you are, you can order it from there, and it's free delivery if you live in England as well. This figure is still in stock there, so if you want it, you should definitely go pick it up now. And yeah, thanks for watching, and